Well, hello. Oh, let's see here. Let's see if we can't navigate the YouTube waters. I really honestly don't know how this will go. This is our inaugural stream, and I want to make sure it's actually working. So welcome everybody who is coming in or who will watch it. My name is Legion. I been streaming on Twitch for a little while. And, you know, like if you've ever done anything for a while and, you know, you do something new, it's always a little unexpected. You kind of like wonder, like, what's going to happen? Like, let's say you've been water skiing or snow skiing your whole life, and then you go to a different mountain or you go to a different lake. You know, what's going to happen? You don't know. You don't always know. And so, hey, and there's Holly. Everything is new to me. So if I seem distressed or confused or whatever, that's just the way it is for right now, because I don't really know about all the ins and outs of the YouTube platform. A lot of stuff is, you know, it's not like riding a bike, you know, streaming is one thing. The technical side of it is something else entirely. So anyway, we have an opportunity here to, I've played, my goodness, my Mass Effect so many times, I've honestly lost count. I don't know what number this would be. This might be run 30, 40, 50. I really don't know. I really wouldn't be able to tell you. Perhaps it's something like that. Let me take a look, see if there's something I can do here. This is Holly saying howdy to me, and I don't see all the options that I have hold on here. Ah, interesting. There you go. Holly is a longtime moderator for me in Twitch, and I could not get her on my settings. It just would not pop her up as a user. And I suspected that once I went live that it would let me see it. And sure enough, I played with the buttons enough, and now it says Holly is a mod, so she's the best mod and one of the best mods in the whole world. And so it really gives us the opportunity to really sit down and not just play a game, but actually discuss Mass Effect. There's so much to the game, and I'm all so inclusive about all ideas and whatever, you know, point of views for Mass Effect, because there's so much depth. When you have a good story, it lends itself to great depth. And I don't know how far I'd be able to stream today. If I don't sound 100%, it's basically because I'm not. I'm getting over COVID, and I chose this weekend to see if I couldn't do the YouTube stream, because I wanted to really see. I didn't want to mess with people's plans, you know. If you came in and you wanted to check it out, that's wonderful. But you know, it's not one of those things that I wanted to, you know, put some regular viewers on the hook and say, hey, look, we're over here. Come look at us over here. You know, I just want to like make sure everything works. And so I hope to have a very successful run here, doing the Mass Effect YouTube streams. One thing about Twitch, though, is that it doesn't really let me, you know, I guess I could turn it into the kind of platform where we could just talk lore all the time. It's just it's just not really kind of set up like that. And it's really, you know, a situation where, you know, a user or a creator can make it like that, of course, but it's really hard to define that when so many people are like first playthrough, or, you know, something like that. And really what I don't see in YouTube a lot, and hopefully maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, not just playing a game, but getting the opportunity to discuss with everybody and say, hey, look, do you have a question? or I think about this with the Volus, the Quarians, the Geth. You know, what is their future? How did we get here? You know, there's different opinions about a lot of different things. Some of it we kind of know, some of it may be unfurled in the future. So this is one of those opportunities that I'm really excited about, that we can really just sit here and devote that much time to it, because the channel itself is expecting to, what I'm expecting to do is create a lot more lore information and discussion stuff rather than clickbait. I'm not a huge big fan of the clickbait stuff. Like, oh, these are 5 things we didn't see before. Well, what do you mean 5 things we haven't seen before? We would probably list about 20 things we didn't see before on those new trailers that just came out. And then in hindsight, when the games finally do come out, in Mass Effect 4, there may be stuff in the trailer that was, they changed their mind about. And so something we thought we were going to see, we didn't see. And it was just some, a change of the direction of the story or something. Who knows? But yeah, anybody that wants to talk about the trailers, anybody wants to talk about certain characters, anybody that wants to talk about just the universe itself, we wanted to make sure that we have a platform available for everybody to do it. Plus, Mass Effect, since it the Legendary Edition came out, we can play it in 2K at least. Well, I can actually do it in, excuse me, 4K. But I don't really want to. I don't want to go that direction yet. We'll just stick to 2K for right now, 1440. And then what's really great about that is, of course, the VODs are. I can archive those, and they can be selected just for one type of, of thing that we do on the channel. But I do have some long content on the channel. We do playthroughs, mostly all BioWare games. Right now, I'm also doing Plague Tale, but that's just because it lends itself to such a cinematic gameplay. So I just thought, hey, I can record this, and I didn't realize I'd be doing as much editing as I do. And I really thought I could whip out Plague Tale in about a month. I was very wrong about that, but it's allowed me to do like a Mass Effect video followed by a Plague Tale video, and it kind of gives it some character and some ability to bounce back and forth. So what we're gonna do, we're going to make a character, and I don't know how we're gonna make him look or anything, but I already kind of know what we're gonna do. And so that kind of like narrows the scope of being able to try to jump into the game and just kind of play it. Of course, we're going to do it on Insanity. Why not? I could do it on a lower setting because it really doesn't matter to me. But, I mean, I don't need the challenge, but I can welcome a challenge. So, let's try a new career.
Welcome to Alliance Military Database.
Yeah, if you know me from Twitch, I've already got a couple other characters
requested.
there. But...
establishing secure connection.
And hopefully the sound is not too loud or too quiet for you guys
secure
for the game.
Connection confirmed.
Okay. Yeah, there we go. Do a custom female.
Please log in to access your profile.
Watch these. Oh, okay. Interesting, Holly. We're going to call this one Kara. There's a friend of mine on Twitch named Kara, and we're just going to go with Kara. She's played an hour or two of Mass Effect at the most. I did take a big swig of cough medicine before I started.
Please reconstruct profile.
So if I start to wind down
Confirm
or whatever,
pre-service
just bear with
history.
me. So here we go. Here's kind of like, these really don't make a huge difference. If you've played the game several times, you'll notice that there are certain like running themes that will be consistent with some of these things that you pick. But fortunately, BioWare doesn't spend a lot of time of saying, hey, you're going to have a completely different gameplay if you do Spacer versus the Colonist versus Earthborn. There are some things that change with it, some dialogue changes, and they're very interesting, but they're not game breaking. They're not like, oh man, I wish I had done that and not this. And so on. It's not bad, but you know, the spacer where both your parents are in the Alliance military, I tend to like this one, mainly because you get those calls that you can make to mom. This one, where you were a colonist, so your parents weren't in the military, see, and then Earthborn, you're basically an orphan. You don't have parents at all. But the spacer is really interesting. So like it says, both your parents were in the Alliance military. Your childhood was spent on ships and stations as they transferred from posting to posting, never staying in one location for more than a few years. Following in your parents' footsteps, you enlisted at the age of 18. So, you joined the military, following in your parents' footsteps. It's really, like I said, I tend to like the spacer background, only because you get to make those phone calls to mom, and that goes all the way until you get to Mass Effect 3. So it's really interesting.
Confirm psychological profile.
This one's a little different though too. You have the Sole Survivor, which is often referred to when you do the a particular mission in the past. You have War Hero, which I kind of like that one. It's a nice little compromise between these two. Although, like I said before, they don't really have a game-breaking difference between all of them. Ruthless is kind of interesting because you're kind of calculating and brutal, whatever. But I don't think it really makes a huge difference at the end of it all. This particular one, the psychological profile. It's really interesting though, actually, because when you go into Mass Effect 2, when you're talking to Miranda, and she's giving you that psychological quiz, even if you don't remember your answers, they kind of guide you in that direction. So, but War Hero, let's read what War Hero is. It says, early in your military career, you found yourself facing an overwhelming enemy force. You risked your own life to save your fellow soldiers and defeat the enemy despite the impossible odds. Your bravery and heroism have earned you medals and recognition from the Alliance fleet. I kind of like that one. I mean, it's not anything, amazing or whatever, but I do kind of like the War Hero one.
Confirm military specialization.
And this time we're going to do engineer. I'm actually more prone to being adept at engineer, even though there's an adept. Of course, adept is much more like biotics based. So engineer is pure tech. Sentinel is kind of like a combination between the two. And Vanguard is kind of a combination, but you don't really get to expose the Vanguard and use it to its full abilities till you get to Mass Effect 3. So I've probably done Vanguard less than any other form of Shepard. But I think we'll go with engineer. We'll go real techie, and there's a certain reason for that. If you follow me long enough, the Canon Shepard and how it kind of like the various ways you can end. There isn't really a true ending, I guess, for Canon Shepard, but I do think that they're leaning on one. And where the story goes is really interesting based on some lore. And that's why I really think lore is really important in Mass Effect, because you can come back to it. You can say, oh, yeah, I remember them talking about this. I remember them talking about that. And maybe it'll have an impact. But I do think that there's an item or two, subject or two, I should say, that they do discuss in Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 that could be really relevant toward the future. And if you are not biotic, I think you might be able to understand that point of view a little bit better. So it's kind of like the magic users versus the non-magic users, right? The non-magic users have to find ways to deal with people who, obviously have magic, right? So it's that thing. So species like the Geth, for instance. How do the Geth get by? None of them have any biotic powers. How are they supposed to compete on some level with, other groups? Unfortunately, they were trained by Quarians who are in a very similar position. But there are ways, obviously. So I think really leaning toward either soldier or an engineer kind of gives you, or really an infiltrator, kind of really gives you that point of view into the story and maybe where it's going that you can kind of accept and say, I could see that happening. But now this is where I always get stuck. Like, what do we do for our talent, our bonus talent? If we're an engineer, I sure would love to have singularity. I'd love to have warp or throw or lift. But in all seriousness, if we're doing like insanity, it makes the most sense to use barrier as our bonus talent. I apologize. I still have to cough every once in a while. But I'm really good at rifles, sniper rifles. But I really think probably barrier, whether you are an infiltrator or not, or something like that, barrier kind of makes sense. Probably if I was a soldier, I'd probably try to focus on one of these things, But I think barrier in this situation might be the way to go.
Confirm facial identification.
We're going to change it just a bit. I don't really know. We won't make it too different. The biggest thing that I've noticed is that, well, let me just say this. I really wish that they had combined 1, 2, and 3, the profile reconstruction. So that way there's some consistency with that. But if you take the code and apply it to 2, it comes out different. If you apply it to 3, it comes out even more different, because I think the skin texture or the skin tones are darker and darker because I think they have more options. I haven't really sat there and counted how many skin tones there are, because I've only done the legendary twice through so far. But I've played it. Oh man. So I've got 2 more other playthroughs that are pending, and I've got this one. So altogether, I guess that's 5. But complete playthroughs, it's 2. But let's go to Scar real quick. I tend to remove the Scar just so we have a blank surface. And makeup. Dark is nice, but more importantly, let's go dark here. And let's do, neck thickness. We'll bring it in just slightly. Make it in too thin. And there are certain scenes that Shepard looks like a little awkward with it. With the t-shirt and a super thin neck. The face size, we want to make sure it's proportionate, but something we can work with. Cheek width, we'll bring it in just slightly. This is one of those things that you kind of have to be careful, because if you make everything a little too gaunt, you get these sharp cheekbones on certain cinematics. So you see here it's cheek gaunt. I gotta move it just to see. It's hard to get it just right. Where is it? Yeah, there, right there. And that's why I'm kind of glad she moves every once in a while. Yeah, we will put her about right there. Okay. And then hair. What are we going to do for hair? And hair's right now is not too bad, actually. But hair color, maybe we'll go dark. Yeah, let's go dark. Eyes. Eye shape isn't bad, but let's go. Actually, where it was pretty good, huh? Wow, that's surprise. Just pure surprise. Okay. Let's bring it in just slightly. That's not bad right there. And then let's go to right about here. perhaps. Right in there. And I don't know about the lips. How are we doing on the lips? Of course, you know, we could spend hours here making a new shepherd, but right there wasn't too bad, huh? Fortunately, some of these parameters aren't the, you know, they don't alter it like crazy. Okay. Oh, let's see here now. What else could we do? Oh yeah, there's nose. I don't know. I think it's okay. Oops. Let's bring it out just slightly. There we go. There we go. So let's copy that, because I want to be able to take that baseline, and because I'm guarantee you, when you import it into 2 and 3, they just don't always look like they fit. So I'm going to bring this. I'm going to archive this into one of my Shepherd files so that we can, you know, have it to reference. Give me 1 second. I'm waiting for my Notepad stuff to open up. Okay, there we go. New. Give me 1. Okay. We're going to save that. There we go. And now we're ready to go. Let's finalize.
Profile reconstruction complete.
There we go. Okay. Confirm. Yeah.
Identification confirmed.
Sanity, subtitles. We don't need tutorials. And we're going to do legendary mode. And yeah, I'm going to let the squad do their thing. So now we get to start with our first cinematic. Look at that. I'm excited to see how this looks on the YouTube.
What about Shepherd?
At 1440.
Spacer lived aboard starships most of her life.
Military service runs in the family. Both her parents were in the Navy.
She proved herself during the Blitz, held off enemy forces on the ground until reinforcements arrived.
She's the only reason Elysium is still standing.
We can't question her courage.
Humanity needs a hero, and Shepherd's the best we've got.
I'll make the call.
We'll see how good we did. I really wish that they had kind of like something like the Black Emporium. You know, Dragon Age 2 got that right. So you're able to kind of go in there and change your look whenever you need to. You can play it through and say, you know what, I made a mistake. It is the future after all.
The Arcturus Prime relay is in range. Initiating transmission sequence.
Commander?
And I love the beginning outfit, the N7 outfit. Man, that is my favorite in this game. When you get the Colossus and stuff like that, they're good. But I love this one. I almost like want to wear it the whole game without changing outfits. I never sell it on purpose.
All stations secure for transit.
Because I like just wearing it. If there was a transmog, I would definitely stay in this one. Yeah. Not bad.
The board is green.
It's kind of serious
Approach
looking.
run has begun.
I like it.
Hitting the relay in 3, 2, 1. Thrusters, check. Navigation, check. Internal emissions sync engaged. All systems online. Drift, just under 1,500K.
1,500 is good. Your captain will be pleased.
I hate that guy.
Nihilus gave you a compliment, so you hate him.
You remember to zip up your jumpsuit on the way out of the bathroom? That's good. I just jumped us halfway across the galaxy and hit a target the size of a pinhead, so that's incredible. Besides, Spectres are trouble. I don't like having them on board.
So,
call me paranoid.
You're paranoid. The Council helped fund
well,
this
I'll start here in just a minute.
They have a right to send someone to keep an eye on their investment.
Yeah, that is the official story. But only an idiot believes the official story.
So there's a lot of people that have gone into Mass Effect, never played it before, and hear like, oh, the, you know, so-and-so is a space racist and, you know, stuff like that. I think they go in already criticizing Joker. I've heard it quite a bit. Like, wow, I don't like this guy already. He's already like mad at them. Like, I mean, if that's your honest reaction, okay, that's fine. I never felt that the first time I played it. I mean, you know, of course I didn't have any influences either, but I kind of believe that there is that influence out there. Like, hey, you know, watch out for this person. Because a lot of people, like, I believe that a lot of people do love talking Mass Effect. They just, they're in an environment where like first-time streamers well, not first-time streamers, but first-time playthroughers don't want any spoilers and stuff. So they get tidbits of information, and sometimes that clouds the opinion of certain, you know, introductions. And, but just since we, you know Joker and everything, hey, he has kind of a right to not want to trust this particular Spectre because he's a Spectre, not because he's a Turian, right? We don't know all these things going into the game, but he's a Spectre. And actually, Joker does say, I don't like Spectres coming in here and telling us what to do, because we're part of the Alliance. The Alliance tells us what to do, and suddenly somebody else is giving us orders and telling us we did a good job. It makes you a little uncomfortable. So I get where he's coming from.
They don't send Spectres on shakedown runs.
So there's more going on here than the captain's letting on.
Joker, status report.
Just cleared the mass relay, Captain. Stealth systems engaged. Everything looks solid.
Good. Find a comm buoy and link us into the network. I want mission reports relayed back to Alliance Brass before we reach Eden Prime.
Aye, aye, Captain. Better brace yourself, sir. I think Nihilus is headed your way.
He's already here, Lieutenant. Tell Commander Shepard to meet me in the comm room for a debriefing.
And you notice how
that, Commander?
And you notice how like very straightforward and direct Captain Anderson is. I mean, you need that. And so I thought they nailed it with the acting here, because here you don't know anybody from anybody, and the Spectre shows up, bosses everybody around. Well, we get the impression that they're bossing everybody around. And so you could have a captain that's like very like, hey, if you can, tell Shepard when you know they get a chance to meet us up here. And then Joker says, hey, look, by the way, you know that Nihilus guy, he's like, okay, I'll keep that in mind. Thank you, Joker. You know, something like that. No, he's very, very, he's not stoic, but he is very matter of fact. He's like all business. So we know Nihilus is not pushing his weight around. He's there. He's an element we cannot ignore. And if he's there on the council, who we have no idea who the council is, then in hindsight, though, if he's there on council business, we have to give him his space, and we also have to kind of honor certain things if we want to still remain politically without making too many waves in the bigger picture. You know, humanity right now does not have a voice on the council. So there's so many like little things that are going on just in these opening scenes that make so much sense later on. But there's so much in this game, in the Mass Effect 1, I should say, that tries to tell you, there's so much like story building that they try to leave like a big platform here, and it says, you know, let's build upon this. And so they overstate a lot of things, like I'm doing now, perhaps. But they overstate quite a bit. And they know that you don't know these people. You don't know who the Hanar are. You don't know who the Geth are. You don't know any of these things. And so for them to kind of be introduced a certain way, it can be detrimental to the story building process. So they do try to make sure that you know what these things are. And then, of course, the bigger picture has to be revealed at the same time. It's tricky. It's tricky. But fortunately, the voice acting is, on point. I heard.
I'm on my way.
Is it me or does the captain always sound a little pissed off?
Only when he's talking to you, Joker.
So here we go. I think I like our Shepard. I think we're looking okay. We're all business. Let's talk to Kaidan.
You probably don't want to keep the captain waiting, Commander.
He doesn't have anything to say. Of course, there's a lot of little things that we can look at and interact, but I think when we come back out of the initial mission,
I'm telling you, I just saw him. He marched by like he was on a mission.
Yeah, it's Pressly. So if you're going to call somebody out for being a space racist and stuff, initially it's Pressly. But the game really embraces it. The story does. Because even when you get to Mass Effect 2, it does talk about how one-sided he saw a lot of things.
Congratulations, Commander. Looks like we had a smooth run. You heading down to see the captain?
Sounds like you don't trust our Turian guest.
Sorry, Commander. Just having a chat with Adams down at engineering. I didn't mean to cause any trouble. But you have to admit, something's odd about this mission. The whole crew feels it.
You think the Alliance brass is holding out on us?
If all we're supposed to do is test out the stealth system, why is Captain Anderson in charge? And then there's Nihilus. Spectres are elite operatives, top covert agents. Why send a Spectre? A Turian Spectre?
A Turian
on
Spectre.
A shakedown run. It doesn't add up.
And see, Joker didn't mention that. He just doesn't like the fact that there's a Spectre on board. Pressly has to point it out. That's the difference. It's subtle, but that's the difference. And if you want to look at humanity, Pressly is more probably represents closer to about 70% of humanity in this universe. They feel like he does. There's the Alliance and, humanity. And then there's, Turians. And then there's Asari and blah, blah, blah. That's them. And then there's us. It's not like all of us. You don't have that inclusive thought process. They're very much like Pressly.
You don't trust Nihilus.
I don't like Turians in general. It runs in my family. My grandfather fought in the First Contact War. Lost a lot of friends when the Turians hit us.
We say that was a long time ago.
That was 30 years ago. You can't blame Nihilus for that.
No, I guess
30
not.
years ago.
But it still makes me nervous to have a Spectre on board. Especially a Turian. We're an Alliance vessel, human military, but Nihilus doesn't answer to the captain like the rest of us. Spectres operate outside the normal chain of command. And they don't come along just to observe shakedown runs. Nihilus looks like he's expecting some heavy action. I don't like it.
So you get to that point where you're like, well, wait a minute. Maybe Pressly would be okay with things if, Nihilus was a human Spectre. That's the impression you get from Pressly. That's the big difference, really. But anyway.
Do you have a problem with the captain?
No, ma'am.
See?
But I can't figure out what he's doing here. Captain Anderson is one of the most decorated Special Forces officers in the service. If he melted down all his medals, he could make a life-size statue of himself. You don't send a soldier like that on a do-nothing mission. He's treating this shakedown run too seriously. Something big is going on.
What do you know about the stealth systems?
I just know it masks our location from scans and sensors. Cutting-edge technology. The Normandy's the only ship with this prototype drive. But why are we fully staffed? A skeleton crew would be cheaper, less chance of security leaks too. Plus there's Nihilus. It's pretty obvious this shakedown run is just a cover.
For what?
Damned if I know, Commander. We're out here on false pretenses. I'm not a fan of being left in the dark.
Okay, so we have those things that we've talked about, and we'll just say, we'll look into it.
I'll see if I can get some answers when I see him.
Good luck, Commander.
But yeah, Pressly definitely represents closer to 70 to 75% of the rest of humanity. Ashley does not. She is, when we get to Ashley, she has opinions, but her opinions are based on what little information she does know and her family basis. There's a lot there for her to be able to give a subjective point of view. Pressly just spews out things. But like I said, he's more like what humanity really represents. He's not an outlier.
What do you think, Commander? We won't be staying on Eden Prime too long, will we? I'm itching for some real action.
I sincerely hope you're kidding, Corporal. Your real action usually ends with me patching up crew members in the infirmary.
Relax, Jenkins.
You need to calm down, Corporal. A good soldier stays cool even under fire.
Sorry, Commander, but this waiting's killing me. I've never been on a mission like this before, not one with a Spectre on board.
Well, let's talk about Nihilus again.
What can you tell me about Nihilus?
Turians are generally well respected by the other species. Their fleet has more patrols protecting Citadel space than any other. They don't always get on well with us, though. Some people find them too rigid. Others still blame them for the First Contact War. As for Nihilus, I haven't said more than 2 words to him. He usually only speaks to the captain.
I heard Nihilus once took down an entire enemy platoon all by himself. Man, I can't believe I'm on a mission with an actual Spectre.
What do you know about the Spectres?
Only what I've heard. Spectre agents work directly for the Citadel Council. They usually work alone or in small groups. Spectres don't have any official power, though. Basically, they're a shadow organization with a mandate to preserve and protect galactic stability.
Galactic stability.
Protect it at any cost. Don't forget that part. Spectres operate above the law.
And see, now we're talking about, like, okay, so that's our perspective as humans in this world. And we take offense to that because there are no human Spectres?
Why don't we have any of our own people in there?
Spectres usually come from the Council races, like the Turians. We've been trying to get a human accepted into their ranks for years now. So far, it hasn't happened.
Hey, Commander, you'd make a good Spectre. You're a war hero, right? Held off an entire enemy fleet during the Blitz single-handed? That's the kind of talent the Spectres are looking for.
This is all just wild speculation.
The Skillian Blitz.
The Spectres aren't interested in recruiting humans, no matter how capable.
Yeah, they're referring to the Skillian Blitz. Eden Prime. Now that's where we're supposed to be going.
You're from Eden Prime, aren't you, Jenkins? What's it like?
It's very peaceful, Commander. They've been real careful with development, so you don't have any city noise or pollution. My parents lived on the outskirts of the colony. At night, I used to climb this big hill and stare across the fields back at the lights from the main settlement. It was gorgeous. But when I got older, I realized it was a little too calm and quiet for me. That's why I joined the Alliance. Even Paradise gets boring after a while.
So you don't call a place Eden Prime and then make it a junkyard.
Any idea why Eden Prime was chosen as our destination?
Not really sure, Commander. Eden Prime's one of our most stable colonies. Good place to take the Normandy for a shakedown run, I guess. No real danger there. There's gotta be something else going on. We've got a Spectre on board. That's why I'm so wound up. I can't wait for the real mission to start.
Okay, you'll be fine.
Just treat this like every other assignment you've had and everything will work out.
Easy for you to say. You proved yourself in the Blitz. Everybody knows what you can do. This is my big chance. I need to show the brass what I can do.
You need to be careful out there, Jenkins.
You're young, Corporal. You have a long career ahead of you. Don't do something stupid to mess it
up. Yeah, don't do something stupid.
Don't worry, ma'am. I'm not going to screw this up.
Okay, so we talked about everything.
The captain's waiting for me.
Goodbye, Commander.
So what was the point of doing all that? Well, we get XP. And XP is hard to come by in Mass Effect 1. You take it where you can get it. Whether it's like Codex or whatever. And in fact, if we go there, we go to our squad real quick. Of course, I want to do we'll do everything in charm for right now because I can never have enough charm. We can load it up on engineer on the next level. But in our Codex already, we've already said, oh, we know about Turians. 1,200 years ago.
Joined the Citadel Council to fulfill the role of galactic peacekeepers. The Turians have the largest fleet in Citadel space, and they make up the single largest portion of the Council's military forces. As their territory and influence has spread, The Turians have come to rely on the Salarians for military intelligence
Same.
and the Asari for diplomacy.
Same.
Despite a somewhat colonial attitude towards the rest of the galaxy, the ruling hierarchy understands they would lose more than they would gain if the other two races were ever removed. Turians come from an autocratic society that values discipline and possesses a strong sense of personal and collective honor. There is lingering animosity between Turians and humans over the First Contact War of 2157, which is known as the Relay 314 incident to the Turians. Officially, however, the two species are allies, and they enjoy civil, if cool, diplomatic relations.
So let's talk about that for a second. First Contact War. The humans discovered the mass relays, and in the spirit of discovery, just started going from relay to relay and say, oh wow, we can go over here. What is over here? Where are we? Let's go over here. Where are we? What they didn't know is that several years prior to that, is doing that same thing, the Salarians accidentally discovered the Rachni, and that caused the Rachni War, which in turn meant that the Salarians had to fight a losing battle with the Rachni, and the rest of the galaxy got involved. And then they uplifted the Krogan to, basically help finish the war that they inadvertently started. So, like, kids, playing with a deadly weapon that they don't know how to use, humans found the mass relay and started using it. And because of the experience that the Turians had with other races misusing that spirit of discovery, they, said you need to stop. And because there was no good communication, it was seen as a threat. And so they said, we need to nip this in the bud. They just keep going, zipping here, zipping there, blah, 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 blah. And so they, tried to eradicate them to avoid another Rachni War or something even worse, maybe. And that's what started the First Contact War. And now you get context of why the Turians and the humans really fought, and why there's so much animosity with the humans, because the humans are just doing human things, right? Existing. And then they get attacked by this alien race. And since the Turians are so authoritarian in their own, in their own universe, or in their own world, basically, I mean, that's how they tried to address this war. And of course, the other species were like, oh, whatever, because, the Turians are on the council, and it's their thing. It's their war. Okay. Yeah. Do what you got to do. But anyway, that's why humans don't trust Turians in this universe. And that animosity kind of spills over. But anyway.
Spectres are agents from the Office of Special Tactics and Reconnaissance, and answer only to the Citadel Council. They are elite military operatives, granted the authority to deal with threats to peace and stability in whatever way they deem necessary. They operate independently or in groups of 2 or 3. Some are empathetic peacekeepers, resolving disputes through diplomacy. Others are cold-blooded assassins, ruthlessly dispatching problem individuals. All get the job done one way or another, often operating outside the bounds of galactic law. The Spectres were founded after the Salarians joined the Council. For many years, they operated in secrecy as backroom problem solvers. Only after the Krogan rebellions did their activities become publicized. Assignment of a Spectre is less contentious than a military deployment, but makes it clear that the Council is concerned about a situation.
So that's really interesting, because it says in that paragraph, the first sentence says, the Spectres were founded after the Salarians joined the Council. Well, that's not really how it worked. It's not really how it happened. But there was a Salarian who was unique, that the Council thought, hey, let's put this person into, have him work for us. And so, you know, of course, that wouldn't happen if the Salarians were not part of this whole situation. But once they joined the council, it kind of made sense to be able to use somebody from one of those races. And I'm surprised that they didn't use a Turian first, but it was a Salarian. Let's see what we got here.
Humanity's first contact with an alien race occurred in 2157. At that time, the Alliance allowed survey fleets to activate any dormant mass relays discovered, a practice considered dangerous and irresponsible by Council-aligned races. When a Turian patrol discovered a human fleet attempting to activate a relay, they attacked. One human vessel survived, retreating to the colony of Shanxi. The Turians followed, quickly defeating the local forces. Shanxi was occupied, the first and to date only human world to be conquered by an alien species. The Turians believed the handful of ships they defeated represented the bulk of human defenses, so they were unprepared when the Second Fleet, under Admiral Castany Drescher, launched a strong counteroffensive, evicting them from Shanxi. The Turians mobilized for full-scale war, drawing the attention of the rest of the galaxy. The Council quickly intervened, forcing a truce. Fortunately for humanity, the First Contact War was ended with a diplomatic solution.
Yeah, because you can imagine if either side had decided to, if there was no diplomatic intervention at that point. So I did say that, you know, the other races were like, hey, look, that's your war. They did say that initially. And then when they finally got involved, that's how they kind of basically said, look, there may be just some really big miscommunication here. We aren't dealing with a non-sentient race that is just like pushing the buttons to the mass relays. And they decided to say, hey, look, what's going on here? What were you guys doing? And that allowed negotiations to occur. And that's why it ended peacefully. And at least the Turians were open to listening to it. Because I guess the Turians realized, hey, look, they made a military faux pas. They just underestimated what the humans had in their arsenal. Because the Turians basically tried to squash one particular section and say, okay, we're done with it.
The Systems Alliance is an independent supranational government representing the interests of humanity as a whole. The Alliance is responsible for the governance and defense of all extrasolar colonies and stations. The Alliance grew out of the various national space programs as a matter of practicality. Sol's planets had been explored and exploited through piecemeal national efforts. The expense of colonizing entire new solar systems could not be met by any one country. With humans knowing that alien contact was inevitable, there was enough political will to jointly fund an international effort. Still, the Alliance was often disregarded by those on Earth until the First Contact War. While the national governments dithered and bickered over who should lead the effort to liberate Shanxi, the Alliance fleet struck decisively. Post-war public approval gave the Alliance the credibility to establish its own parliament and become the galactic face of humanity.
So there you go. So even when in the face of war with an alien species, had groups divided on like who should be the ones who represents humanity. Well, the Alliance didn't even ask the question. They just did it. So that's how we got here. Very interesting stuff. Mission. Okay. I don't know why they're still coded. Oh, it's the secondary stuff. So this is stuff we don't really need to go over, but it's like the ship sensors. Actually, this one's kind of neat. I don't think it reads this one. The secondary stuff. But yeah, here's an interesting one. So if you ever need to know like what happens when, this is a nice little timeline that we have in here. Shepard was born in 2154. It is 2183. And that's kind of been the question of like, how old is Shepard in Mass Effect 1? Well, here's your answer. Let me, I always have to break out the calendar. 2183. Minus 2154. I don't know that off the top of my head. So 29, almost 30. Keep that in mind. That is kind of, that's not important it's just, Shepard has done some things, right? While in the Alliance. We're not like brand new recruits. We're not 21. We're not 19. Shepard was introduced to some issues early on. You've had almost probably a decade of war experience and Alliance training. So, but this is basically our background. I might read this one because it actually talks a little bit more about the Skyllian Blitz that we were doing. So it says, born into a naval family, you spent your childhood on ships and stations. You moved from posting to posting as your parents were reassigned. You enlisted in the Alliance military yourself on the day you turned 18. 11 years. You were on shore leave at Elysium when the first wave of the Skyllian Blitz struck. A mass coalition of force of slavers, crime syndicates, and Batarian warlords attacked the human colony, determined to wipe it out. You rallied the civilian inhabitants, leading them in their desperate fight to hold off the invaders. When enemy troops broke through the colony's defenses, you single-handedly held them off and sealed the breach. After hours of brutal fighting, reinforcements finally arrived and the enemy broke ranks and fled. Because of your actions, Elysium was saved, and you are regarded throughout the Alliance as a true hero. So this is Elysium. This happened on Elysium. This was the Skyllian Blitz. Now we know our backstory. Interesting, isn't it? Pretty cool.
Commander Shepard, I was hoping you'd get here first. It will give us a chance to talk.
Yeah, well, where's Captain Anderson?
The captain said he'd meet me here.
He's on his way.
Thought he was already there.
I'm interested in this world we're going to.
Use your brain,
Eden
people.
Prime. I've heard it's quite beautiful.
Anderson said he's already here. So we are being forced to talk to Nihilus one-on-one for some reason. I wouldn't know.
I've never been there.
But you know of it. It's become something of a symbol for your people, hasn't it? Proof that humanity can not only establish colonies across the galaxy, but also protect them. But how safe is it, really?
Remember who you're talking to. You're talking to a war veteran and a Spectre. Why are you asking?
Do you know something?
Your people are still newcomers, Shepard. The galaxy can be a very dangerous place. Is the Alliance truly ready for this?
I think it's about time we told the Commander what's really going on.
This mission is far more than a simple shakedown run.
So it serves two purposes. We know this mission serves at least two purposes. But it is interesting that Anderson comes in at this time to intervene. He could have stayed out a little bit longer. Let us get our questions in. Let Nihilus question us and see where we stand as far as being Spectre capable.
Is someone going to fill me in, Captain?
We're making a covert pickup on Eden Prime. That's why we needed the stealth systems operational.
There must be a reason you didn't tell me about this, sir.
This comes down from the top, Commander. Information strictly on a need-to-know basis. A research
we didn't need to know.
unearthed some kind of beacon during an excavation. It was Prothean.
Prothean, and again, like it's throwing all this stuff at you. I love the story writing's ability to assume the player is not an idiot. No, we have all this information coming at us from all different directions, all these codexes and lore and information. Prothean, what the heck is all this?
I thought the Protheans vanished 50,000 years ago.
Their legacy still remains. The mass relays, the Citadel, our ship drives. It's all based on Prothean technology.
We know this?
Big Shepard. The last time humanity made a discovery like this, it jumped our technology forward 200 years.
We know that.
But Eden Prime doesn't have the facilities to handle something like this. We need to bring the beacon back to the Citadel for proper study.
Obviously, this goes beyond mere human interests, Commander. This discovery could affect every species in Council space.
So we've not only discussed the Protheans, how long ago they were, and now we're talking about a beacon and the ability to take that technology and advance everybody, or at least our species, forward. Again, I apologize. I've still got a cough. But I do appreciate how games sometimes, you can be overwhelmed sometimes, but Mass Effect really lets you have it. It really is story-based. It says, here you go. Learn as much as you can, as much as you want to.
Why didn't we keep the beacon for ourselves?
You humans don't have the best reputation. Some species see you as selfish, too unpredictable, too independent, even dangerous.
Sharing that beacon will improve relations with the Council. Plus, we need their scientific expertise.
That is true.
They know more about the Protheans than we do.
The beacon's not the only reason I'm here, Shepard.
Nihilus wants to see you in action, Commander. He's here to evaluate you.
So, indirectly, Nihilus, even though we don't know why he's here, we know the Council's involved, so we know they have their eye on things. He's also indirectly telling us this is what humanity is seen as. They don't have the best reputation in the galaxy. They're seen as independent, selfish. He's not giving us his opinion. He's just laying it down objectively, saying this is where the rest of the galaxy sees you guys. So if we were to keep the beacon for ourselves, the Batarians could come in and say, hey, look, we don't trust what they're doing with that stuff. And we may not get support for defense. There's a whole litany of reasons why we want to share the information, even though we could take it for ourselves. Okay. He's here to evaluate me. I should have known.
Guess that explains why I bump into him every time I turn around.
The Alliance has been pushing for this for a long time. Humanity wants a larger role in shaping interstellar policy. We want more say with the Citadel Council. The Spectres represent the Council's power and authority. If they accept a human into their ranks, it shows how far the Alliance has come.
True.
You held off an enemy assault during the Blitz single-handed. You showed not only courage, but also incredible skill.
Yeah, but that was a decade ago.
That's why I put your name forward as a candidate for the Spectres.
That's why? Okay. All right. Not anything else we've done since then.
Why would a Turian want a human in the Spectres?
Not all Turians resent humanity.
See?
Some of us see the potential of your species. We see what you have to offer to the rest of the galaxy, and to the Spectres. We are an elite group. It's rare to find an individual with the skills we seek. I don't care that you're human, Shepard. I only care that you can do the job.
Bam. So we know from at least one Turian that we can be treated as an equal, potentially. We are weighed based on our merit and our capability, not just because we're human or because we're Turian or because whatever. Because of those things. And so we have at least one Turian, and because he's a Spectre, gives you the impression that maybe Spectres, although they run outside the law, are chosen because, not that they can run outside the law, but because maybe they don't need to. Maybe they can, if it comes down to it, they have authorization. They're not limited by that, but they have unique skills that transcend not just being a good sharpshooter, not just being a good diplomat. They're just good at everything. And Shepard, in my opinion, I know this is real early in the stream, but Shepard, in my opinion, is humanity 3.0. Like, I think humans in this universe are still humans like us, for the most part, with the exception of, being able to integrate biotic, powers, L2 and, like Caden, basically. But I don't think that we've gone to humanity 2.0 yet. I do believe Shep's on that 3.0 level. Just uniquely unique. And I think happens over and over and over again, where I get proven for that. Every little thing that happens, like, you don't have to be like a Superman and fly around to be human 3.0. You're just good at everything, and it just comes natural, you know? And just some people are really good at one thing. It seems like Shepard does whatever, except for dancing. But there's a lore behind that too. Shep has been known to actually dance well. It's only around others. And it's in that it's that ability for Shep to kind of like pull the crew together and laugh at Shepard, or laugh with Shepard maybe. But it's that diplomacy thing we're talking about. The ability to bring a crew together, to make them want to die for each other, not just you, but for each other. And that's the unique talent Shepard has as a crew leader. So even dancing bad is maybe on purpose. So many little tears to that thought. But that's my flag that I'm planting. And that's why when we go into new stories in the future, that I'm going to say, if things happen a certain way, I was right. If they don't, they don't. I could be completely wrong. You know, it's just the way it is. But I do believe Shepard is uniquely unique amongst not just humans and not just amongst other species. I just think Shep is a different level. Shep is just built differently.
I assume this is good for the Alliance.
Earth needs this, Shepard. We're counting on you.
I need to see your skills for myself, Commander. Eden Prime will be the first of several missions together.
You'll be in charge of the ground team. Secure the beacon and get it onto the ship ASAP. Nihilus will accompany you to observe the mission.
And for future streams, what I'll probably end up doing is getting my green screen together. So I have my little alien stuff back here and whatnot, and this and that. I have lots of art stuff. But I think I'm going to go with a green screen for YouTube streams for sure. So, you know, just letting you guys know, because I have to make my camera a little bit bigger than I did have it on Twitch. But I think for me, the game is what's really important, not just seeing me. But I think sometimes I get in the way. But I don't mind, you know, being where I am in the display here. And again, this is my inaugural stream for YouTube, so who knows me. I've changed so many things over the time period that I've been with Twitch, that I need to learn what works and what doesn't work in YouTube, because it's a very different process. I mean, everything I had to do to kind of like get started was so different than Twitch. So hopefully you guys like it. And if there's anything you don't like or anything you do like, or if there's, like I said, certain discussion things you want to go over more, you guys gotta let me know. Let me know. Put in the comments at any time, especially because these VODs are going to go into a playlist for just like past gaming streams. You can watch it there.
What do you know about the Protheans?
Just what they taught us in school. They were a technologically advanced species that ruled the galaxy 50,000 years ago. Then they vanished. Nobody really knows how or why, though I've heard plenty of theories. But everyone agrees galactic civilization wouldn't exist without them.
Their citadel is the very heart of galactic society, and without their mass
I may have to
relays,
pop a
interstellar
cough
travel
drop.
would be impossible. We all owe the Protheans a great debt.
So now they talked about Protheans again. I'm not going to like bore you guys with that information again, because we just got introduced to the Protheans. But the point here is that Protheans were from a long time ago, and we learned a lot from them. Let's talk about this beacon.
Why is this beacon so important?
All advanced galactic civilization is based on Prothean technology, even yours.
If we hadn't discovered those Prothean ruins buried on Mars, we'd still be stuck on Earth. That was just a small data cache. Who knows what we can learn from this beacon? What if it's a weapons archive? We can't let it fall into the wrong hands.
Sorry, had to hack up a lung there for a second. Ooh, wrong hands? What you mean by that?
Like who?
The Attican Traverse isn't the most stable sector of Citadel space. There are plenty of raiders and criminal groups active in the region.
The Attican Traverse.
They might figure a Prothean beacon is worth the risk of attacking an Alliance ship. Plus, Eden Prime is right on the border of the Terminus systems.
The Terminus systems, what's that? Now, again, we are kind of defining where things are and what things are and who is being affected by them.
The Attican Traverse is under Citadel protection. If the Terminus systems attack, it's an act of war.
Technically, yes. But some of the species in the Terminus might be willing to start a war.
The Batarians.
The last thing the Council wants is
That's who they're talking about.
Into a major conflict with the Terminus systems. We have to keep this low-key.
So, the humans and the Batarians kind of basically fight over a certain area that's so close to each other. And basically, the Batarians believe that they should be controlling a certain area that's in human-controlled areas. And they don't want to lose any more territory. So there's constant tension. I can't talk tonight. There's constant tension going on between specifically the Batarians and the humans, just because of the close proximity.
I'd like to know more about Eden Prime before we touch down.
It's a peaceful farming world, but it represents something much bigger. Eden Prime is one of our oldest and most successful colonies. It proved we were ready to face the challenges of settling new worlds, to forge a place for humanity beyond Earth. It symbolizes humanity's growth and evolution as a spacefaring species. And after this, it will be known as the world where humans made a discovery of galactic importance.
And that's everything. So, we're ready to go.
Just give the word, Captain.
We should be getting close.
Now we get the
Captain,
cinematic.
We got a problem.
What's wrong, Joker?
Transmission from Eden Prime, sir. You better see this.
Bring it up on screen.
Get down!
We are under attack, taking heavy casualties. I repeat, heavy casualties. We can't get evac. They came out of nowhere. We need...
It's the claw.
Everything cuts out after that. No comm traffic at all. Just goes dead. There's nothing.
Reverse and hold at 38.5. Status report.
17 minutes out, Captain. No other Alliance ships in the area.
Take us in, Joker, fast and quiet. This mission just got a lot more complicated.
A small strike team can move quickly, without drawing attention. It's our best chance to secure the beacon.
Grab your gear and meet us in the cargo hold. Tell Alenko and Jenkins to suit up, Commander. You're going in.
Alenko and Jenkins. It's the claw.
Engaging stealth systems. Somebody was doing some serious digging here, Captain.
Your team's the muscle in this operation, Commander. Go in heavy and head straight for the dig site.
What about survivors, Captain?
Helping survivors is a secondary objective. The beacon's your top priority.
Approaching drop point 1.
Nihilus, you're coming with us?
I move faster on my own.
He's got a shotty.
Nihilus will scout out ahead. He'll feed you status reports throughout the mission. Otherwise, I want radio silence.
So I always say he can count on us. I mean, you can say, can we trust him? And then that's basically a renegade point. But there's no need to exacerbate. He's not even here to defend himself. So
we've got his back, Captain.
The mission's yours now, Shepard. Good luck.
All right.
We are approaching drop point 2.
So if we are an engineer, we could definitely focus on having a shotgun quite a bit. But
Perimeter secure, Commander.
I think for the beginning here, might
This place got hit hard, Commander. Hostiles everywhere. Keep your guard up.
either stay with the assault rifle, or we might just, for the opening mission at least, stick to the sniper rifle. I'm decent with the sniper rifle, so either one as a tech person should be no problem. But let me, at least for right now, go up here, put this in my quick. One thing I've noticed is that now we should have had barrier. I don't know why. I guess I have to do my mission, my talents first. Barrier. Yeah, we just haven't unlocked it. Let's do Kaidan. Let's go and give him. Oops. Nope. Undo. Let's give him first aid. And I guess for this mission, decryption. And then Jenkins. Let's put everything in soldier for him. Yeah. That's not a waste. Let's quickly save where we're at so that we don't have any crashes or something. Save number 1. I tend to do a lot of saves, but I don't die a ton, but I might. You never know. Three shots.
All clear.
Yeah, of course it's all clear. All right. Let's see here. Ooh, high caliber barrel. Right off the bat, we got a good mod. So let's go here to our sniper rifle. Yeah. I don't think we have. There we go. Stimulant pack. 5% cooldown. So, you know, engineer and adepts, when you have a really fast cooldown, really helps you play the game. Hold on. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. We have not had groceries for several days now. And I've ordered them, and we keep getting delayed and then canceled out of the blue. So my wife is actually there, and they said they couldn't find it at first, and now they found it. So we were going to go into the weekend without any groceries. So I had to make sure that happened. Oh no, I think our ship looks okay. I think I've made better ships, but this one's not bad. This one is not bad. It's very similar to my playthrough that I have on the YouTube right now. Jenkins, how do you end up so far ahead of us? Look at that. We were literally right here, and he ran all the way up there. No, we're gonna have to do a complete replay through for Jenkins. Jenkins, no. Wait a minute, his eyes are moving. You see that? Yeah, his eyes are moving still. But oh well.
Ripped right through his shields. Never had a chance.
Never had a chance. Yeah, well.
We'll see that he receives a proper service once the mission is complete. But I need you to stay focused.
Aye, aye, ma'am.
Aye, ma'am. That's hilarious.
Smells like smoke.
And you'll notice, like if we bring this out now and we do this now, and I don't know if this happened before, but in Legendary, yeah, you see there? It won't let me do it now because we're too close to Kaidan, maybe. No. But before, for a while there, in fact, I've got like videos of it. If you focus in, you can definitely see him blinking. It's like, oh, well, let's just leave him. He's still blinking. I guess the romance to Jenkins is just not going to happen this playthrough.
Some burned out buildings here, Shepard. A lot of bodies. I'm gonna check it out. I'll try to catch up with you at the dig site.
Yes, sir. What's going on, you sexy dumb bitch? Oh, I don't. Let's see here. How come that's not showing up on my chat? Hold on. Let me do one quick thing. I think I have my live chat. There we go. Okay. Cody. How do I know you from, Cody? You got to remember, I'm also on Twitch, so I don't recognize all the names that y'all have changed. I'm consistent across all my platforms. I'm Legion Grey everywhere. But how are you doing? I don't know if I'm so sexy lately. My voice is definitely not great. But how are you? We are doing lore streams and we're taking the time to talk about everything. And unfortunately, we have Caden at the moment. But hey, whatever. Things will improve very shortly. First time seeing your stream. What game is this? This is Mass Effect. I have a lot of like cinematic playthroughs of Mass Effect so far. Been doing Plague Tale as well, but I do I've been playing Mass Effect since really the game came out, so it's more or less a lore stream. So, any questions you got about, or discussions you want to have about the actual game? Should have recognized Mass Effect. Yeah, it's Mass Effect, of course. But this is my inaugural stream on YouTube. So if you haven't seen me before, there you go. That's why. Okay.
Thanks for your help, Commander. I didn't think I was going to make it.
You're right. I gotta loot first, though, Ash.
Gunnery Chief Ashley Williams
crap.
of the 212. You the one in charge here, ma'am?
All right. You okay?
Are you wounded, Williams?
A few scrapes and burns. Nothing serious. The others weren't so lucky. Oh, man. We were patrolling the perimeter when the attack hit. We tried to get off a distress call, but they cut off our communications. I've been fighting for my life ever since.
Yeah. I mean, you know, Ash is like, you know, I can respect Ash because, you know, she's, you know, she got attacked just like we were at the Shang-Chi Blitz. It came out of nowhere. And, you know, you have to single-handedly kind of defend yourself. I can respect that. What happened to your unit, Ash?
Where's the rest of your squad?
We tried to double back to the beacon, but we walked into an ambush. I don't think any of the others... I think I'm the only one left.
Yeah, don't blame yourself.
This isn't your fault, Williams. You couldn't have done anything to save them.
Yes, ma'am. We held our position as long as we could, until the Geth overwhelmed us.
The Geth haven't been seen outside the Veil in nearly 200 years.
Geth, outside the Veil in 200 years.
They must have come for the beacon. The dig site is close, just over that rise. It
All
might
right.
still be there.
Join us.
We could use your help, Williams.
Aye, aye, ma'am. It's time for payback.
Payback. So Ash, even though she's been like running for her life, she's ready to go.
What else do you know about the Geth?
Just what I remember from history class back in school. They're synthetics, non-organic life forms with limited AI programming, created by the Quarians a few centuries ago. They were supposed to be a source of cheap labor, but ended up turning on the Quarians and drove them into exile.
I mean, in a
After that, they
nutshell,
just
Ash
kinda
got it.
disappeared behind the Perseus Veil. Nobody's really heard much from them since.
So there's a whole story behind all the, you know, that and them going behind the Perseus Veil and all that stuff. But Ash pretty much put it in a nutshell what actually has happened with the Geth.
Describe what happened leading up to the attack.
We were sent out a couple of nights ago from the main colony to secure the area. Seemed like a routine patrol until the Geth hit us. We never knew they were coming.
Let's see here. And the scientist?
What happened to the researchers at the dig site?
I don't know. They set up camp near the beacon. The 232 was with them. Maybe their unit fared better than mine.
The 232. Let's talk about the beacon.
Tell me everything you know about the beacon.
They were doing some digging out here to extend the monorail and expand the colony. A few weeks ago, they unearthed some Prothean ruins, and the beacon. Suddenly, every scientific expert in the colony was interested. That's when they brought us in to secure the site. I don't know much about the beacon itself, but I heard one of the researchers say this could be the biggest scientific discovery of the century.
Oh.
What happened to the researchers at the dig site?
I don't know.
Yeah.
They set up camp near the beacon.
So some of these in Mass Effect 1, you can
Maybe
definitely
their unit
repeat
fared
the
better than
question
mine.
by accident, even though it's a different dialogue tree. So, Nihilus, let's ask about Nihilus. So everybody wants to claim, Ash is a space racist and stuff. Let's hear her reaction to a Turian out here.
Have you seen a Turian Spectre around here?
There aren't any Turians on Eden Prime. None that I've ever met. Not sure I'd be able to tell if one was a Spectre anyway.
If you saw this guy, you'd know. Carries enough firepower to wipe out a whole platoon. Luckily, he's on our side.
So you can take that one of two
Sorry.
ways.
Like I said, no Turians.
You could either take that like saying, I wouldn't be able to tell if he was a Spectre anyway. But, I mean, that could have been for a human, too. I mean, she would have really honestly been able to say the same thing about a human. Did you see, I don't know, whatever it is. Did you see a commando guy run through here before? I don't know. Maybe. I wouldn't be able to tell if he was a Spectre or not, honestly. And, of course, Kaidan says, well, you'd be able to tell. But some people have taken that as like, oh, okay, Ash is definitely a space racist. Oh, I wouldn't be able to tell if he was a Spectre anyway. That's not really her. She doesn't have much experience with dealing with alien races to begin with. So she's just being honest. Wouldn't be able to tell you if he was a Spectre. So if there was a Turian here, hate to say that, well, it must be him because he's the only Turian out here, maybe. But anyway, some people have just taken that, I think, out of context.
Move out.
Move out. Let me get my loot. Let's see here. What we got? Chemical rounds and anti-personnel rounds. Okay, so let's give that to... Oh, what we got here? Forgot about this one. Oh, already we have some armor. Let me see what we got here. So we have an upgrade already. And let me go look at Ash. Let's look at her. We're going to keep her on assault rifles. Definitely toxic. I mean, we can do... yeah, we'll just do like that for right now. But I mean, she's going to be our hammer. She's she's our soldier that we're going to be using quite a bit, especially since we're an engineer. We're going to need the extra muscle behind us. Kaidan, you go up there. Oh, that's Ash. Never mind. That even worked out better. Come on, y'all. Give me some cover. There we go. Got him. So they took him out, and I took out this guy here. Let's get this loot, and then we'll look at this beacon that's not here anymore. All right. So this is where the beacon was supposed to be. One thing I've never agreed with BioWare on is how you make husks. Yeah, these husks are... Yeah, no, this is too complicated to make a husk. I thought it would probably be so much better if they had like a little vat thing, like in Mass Effect 3, when you go to Horizon, to create the husks, they were inside this chamber, one by itself. But, of course, we're talking about a more advanced society. So what if they took the information from the from where the Geth get the information from, and they were able to kind of put like 10 humans or beings in one thing, or maybe one Krogan or something, and then that's how you make your new species. I think that would have been better.
This is the dig site. The beacon was right here. It must have been moved.
By who? Our side or the Geth?
Hard to say. Maybe we'll know more after we check out the research camp.
Let's look.
You think anyone got out of here alive?
If they were lucky. Maybe hiding up in the camp. It's just on the top of this ridge, up the ramps.
Okay. So they're not here no more.
Change of plans, Shepard. There's a small spaceport up ahead. I want to check it out. I'll wait for you there.
All right. So, yeah. And everything in the Legendary Edition to me looks so much better.
Looks like they hit the camp hard.
It's a good place for an ambush. Keep your guard up.
Okay, Caden. Whatever you say. You know, that's not foreshadowing.
Oh, God. They're still alive.
What did the Geth do to them?
Yeah, the hosts are so stupid in this game. They just wander around. Make it hard to hit them, though, that's for sure. You just run around. There we go. They're more annoying than anything else. You know, whatever. Alrighty. Razor, how are you doing? See,
that door. It's closed.
Those little emotes that like you have, Razor? I have no idea how to access that stuff. This is all new to me. But it's good to have you, Razor. How are you doing? Welcome on in. I'm doing this stream on a holiday weekend because, you know, if it doesn't work well, at least, you know, I don't have a large audience to screw it up with. But yeah, oh, they are YouTube emotes, really. So they come in free, you see. You don't have to, I don't even think you have to be subbed, maybe. I don't really know. I have no idea. But yeah, ad-free viewing, 1440 if you choose to see it that way. And then, of course, VOD's available. And definitely. You're always amazing. No worries. Hardly. But I'm trying to do like not just playthroughs here, but maybe some lore playthroughs. So anytime anybody has a question, or if there's just something you want to talk about, or saying, you know what, Legion, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong about Liara. Liara is bae. No matter what you say, Liara is bae. And BioWare would probably agree with you, but I don't. And we are doing it on Insanity, just because. Don't have to, but we are.
Thank the Maker.
Thank the Maker. You hear that?
Close the door.
Dragon Age reference. Thank the Maker. Where's Maffy when I need her?
Don't worry. We'll protect you.
Thank you. I think we'll be okay now. It looks like everyone's gone.
You're Dr. Warren, the one in charge of the excavation. Do you know what happened to the beacon?
It was moved to the spaceport this morning. Manuel and I stayed behind to help pack up the camp. When the attack came, the Marines held them off long enough for us to hide. They gave their lives to save us.
No one is saved. The age of humanity is ended. Soon, only ruin and corpses will remain.
So remember, so she said, thank the Maker. And it's so funny she says that, to, you know, when you know the BioWare games. Because the Makers, they say it over and over and over and over in Dragon Age. You know, in Dragon Age, that's, you're the Maker, thank the Maker. But whatever, you know. Especially humans.
What else can you tell me about the attack?
It all happened so fast. 1 second we were gathering...
It's like an Easter egg.
The next we were hiding in the shed while the Geth swarmed over the camp.
Agents of the Destroyers, bringers of darkness, heralds of our extinction.
We could hear the battle outside. Gunfire, screams. I thought it would never end. Then everything went quiet. We just sat there, too afraid to move, until you came along.
Okay, let's talk about the beacon. Let's not talk about Nihilus just yet.
Can you tell me anything about the beacon?
It's some type of data module from a galaxy-wide communications network. Remarkably well preserved. It could be the greatest scientific discovery of our lifetime. Miraculous new technologies, groundbreaking medical advances. Who knows what secrets are locked inside?
We have unearthed the heart of evil, awakened the beast, unleashed the darkness.
Manuel, please.
Manuel,
this
please.
Isn't the time.
This isn't the time.
What's wrong with your assistant?
Manuel has a brilliant mind, but he's always been a bit unstable. Genius and madness are two sides of the same coin.
And you see that over and over in this game.
To see the destruction rushing towards us, to understand there is no escape, no hope. No, I am not mad. I'm the only sane one left.
I gave him an extra dose of his meds after the attack.
You can say, I can shut him up. And then it's the renegade points, but we're not going to do that. Now we'll talk about Nihilus.
Did you notice a Turian in the area?
I saw him, the Prophet, leader of the enemy. He was here before the attack.
That's impossible. Nihilus was with us in the Normandy before the attack. He couldn't have been here.
I'm sorry, Manuel's still a bit unsettled. We haven't seen your Turian. We've been hiding in here since the attack.
Okay, goodbye.
Williams, take us to the spaceport.
You can't stop it. Nobody can stop it. Night is falling. The darkness of eternity.
Hush, Manuel. Go lie down.
Hush, Manuel.
You'll feel better once the medication kicks in.
So we got some Paragon points out of that. And again, every time we have an opportunity to get like XP or Paragon or whatever, you need to take it. Because it's hard to come by in this game. It's not the easiest thing to get. Especially early on. And it just makes your playthrough a little bit easier. Medium armor for Krogan. I mean, medium armor for Turian. I don't even have these people in my crew. Come on now. Jeez. They give me this low level armor. Even though we can't use it just yet. Okay, let's go. Great scene. Great scene.
Saren.
Nihilus.
This isn't your mission, Saren. What are you doing here?
The Council thought you could use some help on this one.
So we know he's a Spectre too, because he's saying he's had communication with the Council.
Bad. Don't worry. I've got it under control.
Hear that? So you can infer a lot of things from that. It might confuse you if you've never seen the scene before. But we know Nihilus is a Council Spectre. And yet he knows Saren, which fine, you know, he may just know him from as another Turian. But Saren is very deliberate with his words, and he says, the Council thought you could use some help with this one. Well, he must be a Spectre too. Because one, he's acting on the enforcement of the Council. And we read it before where Council Spectres sometimes operate in groups of solo up to 2 or 3. So, here we go.
What is that? Off in the distance.
Shut up, Caden.
Look at the size of it.
Where is Ashes? Not near us. This is kind of unique in Legendary, the way it looks. Very good. Very nice. Whew. Wait a minute, where is that? Well, they'll come to us eventually. But where? Oh, there they are. Stupid husk. Got him in the crotch. Would you? How did I miss? Jeez. These stupid husks. Alright, finally. Okay. Y'all go down there and finish him off. I don't want any deaths right now at this early. Alright. There we go. Funny. Yeah, these stupid like husks. I don't know, just in this game in particular, the husks are just really dumb. So let's try to do this decryption. Shouldn't be too hard. There we go.
Everybody stay calm out there. We're coming out. We're not armed.
Is it safe? Are they gone?
I think it was those guys running around like me, forgetting what I was supposed to do when I went upstairs. Exactly. They get better in 2 and 3, but this is what they do. The I don't know, the physics for it is just too goofy. But they are a bit OP in this game. In 1, in 2 and 3, not so much. I mean, they're fairly easy. If they come at you with like, you know, a dozen, then it gets difficult. But in this game, they have a ton of hit points, so it's safe.
You're okay now. Nobody's gonna hurt you.
Those things were crawling all around the shed. They would have found us for sure. We owe you our lives.
I still can't believe it. When we saw that ship, I thought it was all over.
It showed up right before the attack. Knew it was trouble the second I saw it, so we made a break for the sheds.
What else can you tell me about the ship you saw?
I forgot to level up, which means I may not have my full charm on.
Tell them about the noise, Cole. That awful noise.
It was emitting some kind of signal as it descended. It sounded like the shriek of the damned. Only
shriek of the damned
inside your own head.
It was probably trying to block communications.
Whatever it was, felt like it was tearing right through my skull. Almost made it impossible to think.
So how are you doing, Razor? You missing inscription already?
Tell me everything you remember about the attack.
The 3 of us were working the crops when that ship showed up. We just saw it and ran. I don't know what happened to the rest of the crew.
They were by the garage, over near the spaceport, right where that ship came down. No way they survived.
You don't know that. We survived. If they made it to the garage, they could have had a fighting chance.
True. True.
Do you know anything about the Prothean beacon they dug up?
We're just farmers. We heard they found something out there, but it never really mattered to us. Not until now.
What else can you tell me about the ship you saw?
I was too busy running to get a clear look at it. I think it landed over near the spaceport.
Tell them about the noise, Cole. That awful noise.
I am.
It was emitting some kind of signal.
Work has been my life recently,
like
yeah.
The shriek of the damned. Only
yeah.
It was coming from inside your own head.
So we talked about the ship. We talked about the beacon. What did we do? Attack details?
Tell me everything you remember about the attack.
The 3 of us were working the crops.
There we go. Forgot to do this one.
We just saw it and ran. I don't know what happened to the rest of the crew.
They were by the garage,
so
over near the spaceport,
every once
right
in a
where
while,
that ship came
it's
down.
been
No way they survived.
a couple of years
you don't
now.
know that. We survived. If they made it to the garage, they could have had a fighting chance.
Oh, I guess we did cover that. Every once in a while, back in the old days in my office, I had to be kind of like the face of my unit to the public. And today, because we were all just kind of short-staffed and we didn't have like our full board of, you know, full appointments and things, that's what they made me do today. So I had every intention of leaving work early today and saying, hey, look, I got all this extra work done because, you know, I didn't have my regular heavy workload. And, you know, I got caught up in a bunch of stuff and I did that anyway. But they kind of put me out there and I was like, no, I'll just go ahead and stay until whatever. And so I ended up staying later today than I normally do.
I have to go.
Hey, Cole, we're just a bunch of farmers. These guys are soldiers. Maybe we should give them the stuff.
Jeez, Blake, you gotta learn when to shut up.
Should come clean.
You have something to tell me, Cole?
Some guys at the spaceport were running a small smuggling ring. Nothing major. In exchange for a cut of the profits, we let them store packages in our sheds.
Like what?
What kind of packages?
I found a pistol. Figured it would come in handy if those things came back.
Okay.
But you'll probably get more use out of it than we will.
Is that all? So we do have our charm on.
We're risking our lives to save this colony. You sure there's nothing else in here that could help us out?
Yeah, there's one more thing. I was gonna sell
We're
it
an
after this was
engineer,
over, but
so what
probably
he's
deserve
going
more
to talk
than I
about
do.
it, what he's going to give us, we can use.
Who's your contact at the spaceport, Cole? What's his name?
He's not a bad guy. I don't want to get him in trouble. Besides, I'm not a snitch.
Yeah, but he may know something.
He might have something to do with this whole attack, Cole. We need his name. It's important.
Yeah, okay, you're right. His name's Powell. Works the docks at the spaceport.
I don't mind. I don't typically have games on with depth of field, but I do like how they did this game. For the most part, you can still see some outline there, but I don't typically like games with the depth of field on as a default and not being able to turn it off, because your eyes do that naturally, right? And it looks abnormal for when games do it for you. But Mass Effect, I think, does an okay job of how it tries to blur things.
I have to go.
I must go. Okay, combat sensor. Let's open this crate. Oh, yeah, another grenade. And let's try to upgrade our stuff real quick, because here actually at the early part... Oh, let's give this to Ash. Yeah. In the early part of this game, really helps to be to have that, you know, extra mod or that extra, you know, level gun. I'm going to do this one. It will give us a little bit more heat capacity. And then this one's versus organics. We'll put it on, but it's useless here because we're fighting Geth, you know? Yeah, we would keep that on. Let me see here. We got one of these guys. This grenade launcher. Oh, no. Wait. I thought we got it was the pistol. Was it the pistol? Yeah, it was the pistol. So we're going to keep it on us because we're going to keep Ashley with the assault rifle. And can we put that on our sniper rifle instead? Yeah, let's put this on our sniper rifle instead. And then on this Stinger, we'll put on the oh, no. We want to keep, I thought it was the other mod that we were doing. So let's keep this back on our sniper rifle for now. And then we'll put on the combat sensor on our pistol, just to have. Yeah. Okay, so we're ready to go. We are ready to go. Let's go find Cole. Not Cole. Oh, what's his name? It's interesting also, they built all this other stuff and there's nothing back here. Whatever. It's all up here. There's Nihilus.
Commander, it's Nihilus.
Sure enough.
Something's moving over behind those crates.
Wait, don't shoot. I'm one of you. I'm human.
One of us, really. Okay.
What are you doing sneaking around back there?
Sneaking?
I'm sorry. I was hiding from those creatures. My name's Powell.
Powell,
that's what happened to that Turian. The other one shot him.
I need to know how Nihilus died.
The other one got here first. He was waiting when your friend showed up. He called him Saren.
See?
I think they knew each other. Your friend seemed to relax. He let his guard down. And Saren killed him. Shot him right in the back. I'm just lucky he didn't see me behind the crates.
We were told a Prothean beacon was brought to the spaceport. What happened to it?
It's over on the other platform. Probably where that guy Saren was headed. He hopped on the cargo train right after he killed your friend. I knew that beacon was trouble. Everything's gone to hell since we found it. First that damn mothership showed up.
He's right.
Then the attack.
A lot of stuff has happened since they found it.
Everyone. If I hadn't been behind the crates, I'd be dead too.
How come you're the only one who survived? Why didn't anyone else try to hide behind the crates?
They never had a chance. I was already behind the crates when the attack started.
Wait a minute. You were hiding behind the crates before the attack?
Sometimes I need a nap to get through my shift.
He was
sneak
napping.
Off behind the crates to grab 40 winks where the supervisor can't find me.
You survived because you're lazy?
If you hadn't snuck off for that nap, you'd probably be dead just like all the others.
Yeah, I guess. I don't really want to think about it.
So we could talk about this other stuff, but I really want to ask about Cole.
You're Cole's contact here on the docks for the smuggling ring.
What? No! I mean, what does it matter now?
I can nap sufficient, not lazy.
My supervisor's dead. The entire
I can call
dead.
nap sufficient, not lazy.
Doesn't matter
Yeah.
now, does it?
Yeah. But see, it served him, and so now he has, because he's alive, we can ask, "What, you smuggle any weapons?"
Anything hidden nearby that we could use against the Geth?
A shipment of grenades came through last week. Nobody notices if a few small pieces go missing from the military orders.
You greedy son of a bitch. We're out here trying to protect your sorry ass, and all you can think about is how you can rip us off?
I never thought you'd actually need those grenades. Who'd want to attack Eden Prime? We're just a bunch of farmers. How was I supposed to know?
I don't like saying "let it go, Williams," because she has a point. I mean, maybe some people in her unit could have been saved if they had grenades in their possession. But then again, well, then we could have probably recruited all of them, but then we wouldn't have a Mass Effect game that has Ashley Williams in our party. So, hand them over.
Just give me the grenades.
They're yours. Take them. My smuggling days are over, I swear.
Well, we'll go make amends then.
A lot of Marines died here, Powell. Those grenades could have come in handy. If I were you, I'd think of some way to make it up to them.
Yeah, okay. There is something else I was saving. Could be worth a fortune. Experimental technology, top of the line. Take it. I don't need it. I didn't want anyone to get hurt. Really, I'm sorry.
So we're able to acquire some gear, and it's because we're following that chain. And if you know anything about BioWare, if you've done the Baldur's Gate games, if you've done all, stuff, using a high charisma get you things. And I remember even playing this back in the day when this game first came out. I said, I need to make my charm all the way up, whatever that is in Mass Effect terms. I need to, make that max, and it yields rewards. You can push your weight around as Renegade, but it's a little bit trickier, but you can do it.
Tell me about this mothership you saw.
I've never seen anything like it before. It was huge.
It was huge.
Landed over near that platform. The whole place got dark as it came down. And it was making this noise, this sound that bored right into your brain. That's what woke me up. The attack came a few minutes later.
Okay.
Is there anything else you can tell me about the beacon?
They brought it here this morning. We loaded it up onto the train and shipped it to the other platform.
So it's not here.
That was only a few hours ago. Feels like a whole other life.
Tell me about the Geth attack.
It was quick. 1 minute that ship was descending, the next, those Geth were swarming over the platform. Thousands of them. They must have been inside that mothership. They shot anything that moved. It was a massacre.
We need to find that beacon before it's too late.
That's right.
Take the cargo train. That's where the other Turian went. I can't stay here. I need to get away from all this.
High explosive. That's our grenade upgrade. And we already have company. But I'm going to see if we can't loot this real quick. Okay, good. Hammerhead rounds. That's good. Let's get the medical kit. Y'all go that way. Come on. Y'all go that way. Good job, Kagan. All right. There's always one more. She's usually hanging out back here. Oh, he's over there. So now we have the opportunity to Hammerhead, that's what I want. And now we have a grenade upgrade to high explosive, which comes in handy for this particular fight. But Ash now has... Oh no, she doesn't. Instead of toxic... No, I guess we want to use that too. So we'll do that. Yeah, I guess that's okay. So this one hits harder, but her cooldown is a lot less. Okay, let's keep going this way. Oh, there's a barrier there. We should be able to knock him down by the time he starts running at us. There we go. Yeah. Controller, keyboard and mouse. Everything's always keyboard and mouse. I don't ever use a controller. If I have to use a controller, I think it's a failure of the way the game was developed. I mean, you know, PCs were the platform for when you're talking about PC. So, you know, talking about controller, I mean, you know, of course you have Nintendo. I mean, I go back as far as Atari, but, you know, to me, console games are console games, and they should be developed for that. And if it's a PC game, you should be able to use it on PC, not just a port, you know? So if we do a grenade, like we do like right here, see? We made it go off, and he's dead now. How did he not get killed by that? So again, let's use a grenade right next to him. There we go. No. Fine. Thank you. All right, so let's go over here. All right. Now we take the elevator. I didn't know if this game came out on console. It does. It does. It's definitely on PlayStation and Xbox, every platform. And you can use a controller when you're doing it on PC. I do everything on PC. So
leave no evidence that we were here.
When this game first came out, it actually made a lot of people upset, and because it came out pretty much as Xbox first, and it was the first time BioWare had really said, "Hey, look, let's do console first." And they, you know, they'd always been a PC. They had made their name with PC, so they kind of made a lot of waves saying, "Oh, let's do Xbox as not exclusive," but it made a lot of people upset. You know, fortunately, it didn't like remain as an Xbox exclusive. It very shortly became a
demolition
available
charges. The Geth must have planted
for
Hurry!
PC
We need to find
on
them
the
all
back
and
end.
shut them down.
All right, so there's a couple ways we could do this. And I always manage to make this harder than it needs to be. But this time I'm going to try to go this way so I can round them out. Because if I'm going to die early in the game, it's usually like about right here. Because I don't get too worried about the timer. Okay, now let's go. Now let's go this way. I've got them kind of focused over there. There we go. Ugh. Couldn't get them to... Okay, now we go this way. This is a little tricky on Insanity, of course. Okay. We got 3 minutes. We got this, guys. We've got this. See, that every once in a while you get these Geth who have the... Ooh! rocket launchers. Okay, there's one over here. But he's not near us, which is fine. I died right here last time because I got stuck between Kaidan, dumb Kaidan, and the, like right here, like that's what happened. I got stuck there, and then Kaidan was there too. Got in my way. Yeah, the problem with this gun is that it's pretty slow. Ooh, I missed. How do I keep missing? Wow. Okay, well, let's keep going. Let's get the other one. I hit him. That's all that was. I slapped him. There we go. Now we can get these guys whenever we want. Let's see. Where is he? There he is. The one that would not go down. There he goes. Finally. Okay. I think we got everything. Now let's just get our loot and go downstairs. Oh, we got a Banshee. Definitely want to give that to Ash. Oh, we got improved sighting, which is good for our sniper. Let's see here. So the damage or rate of fire, I think at this point, let's just use our max accuracy so we can, you know, really get in there. Ash, let's... Oh, she's already got a Banshee. That's why. Okay. Well, let's give her that one. That'll be good for her, actually. So let's keep going. Naturally, Kaidan's not helping. What the hell? Oh. See, the problem with these husks, see, Kaidan's down. Kaidan's down. Is that they blow up. They'll sit there and blow up. There we go. That's all of them. So Kaidan died, obviously.
Eden Prime will never be the same again.
Yeah, won't be the same because you died on it. If only we could just leave Kaidan here now. But we can't. We're required to bring him. A Reaper too, that's nice. Alright. But it's most definitely out on console. But like I said, it kind of like you could argue that it's more built for console, but it really isn't. I mean, it really isn't. It's just BioWare at the very beginning got a lot of heat because of trying to make it a Xbox first type title. And I think that was just there because their prior agreements, but it did make some waves. Among, like, me. Yeah. Technician kit. Since we're an engineer, that should help. Armor upgrades. Well, that'll work. Okay, so in our here, cooldown reduction or shield recovery or shock absorbers. I think we'll just continue to keep the cooldown reduction. Reaper 2. Let's do that for sure. And is there... Oh, well, since Ash already has a Banshee, let's equip ourselves with a Banshee too. Because at some point I do want to start using my assault rifle a lot more. So So it wouldn't hurt anything to have that. Let's go to this one. Weapon force, that's right. Oops. And so this is improved sighting or heat sink. I'm going to choose heat sink on this one simply because I'm a pretty good shot with these sniper rifles. So we'll use that for right now. Now here's a scene that's kind of new in Legendary. Ooh, heavy armor. So Ash will be able to wear that soon. Oh, and I haven't upgraded yet, have I? Ooh, dadgummit. So let's do our charm, and then we'll do engineer, engineer, and then we will do either decryption or electronics. Eventually we need to get our pistols done, but I think I want to focus on these guys first. Oh yeah, let's do barrier so that we have that as a backup. I'm not messing with Kaidan. Ash, what are you doing? Ash, soldier, 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 soldier. And then we're going to do assault rifle. And then you're going to do... yeah, that, because I wanted to get her to fitness all the way. Fitness... yeah, I guess I'll just do this with him and make him first aid or something. Yeah, he's got first aid. I never take Kaidan, so I'm not really too worried about him. Okay, let's do our second save. But this little cutscene right here is new.
My God. It's like someone dropped a bomb.
That must be where the Geth ship landed.
It's not much, but it's there. Yeah. So now we just have the Prothean beacon to investigate. Let's take a minute to appreciate that look. It looks great. And you know, when you're just playing the game, it's like you don't really get a chance to just look at it. But since we played this game so many times, it doesn't hurt to look at it and admire it. If you kind of go into, it's been a long time since I did this. Oh, let me also make sure I actually am in 1440. There's no reason for me to... yeah, no, I'm in 1440. Where? Oh, photo mode. There it is. Look at this. Looks nice. Yeah. For some reason, Ash is looking that way. Well, no, that makes sense. She's watching our back. Yeah, you gotta love Ash. But anyway. So, of course, if you're FemShep, you got to go save Kaidan. And if you're male Shep, you save Ash. Just the way it is, folks.
Normandy, the beacon is secure.
This is amazing. Actual working Prothean technology. Unbelievable.
It wasn't doing anything like that when they dug it up.
Something must have activated it.
Kaidan.
Roger, Normandy. Standing by.
Kaidan. Of course. Of course she had to go get next to it. But that's interesting. His presence triggered it. Or Ashley's presence triggered it. I've never understood that. If Shepard's presence triggered it, okay. But it never is. It's always either Ash or Kaidan. And you can chalk it up to like, oh, well, they just happen to be there. No, there's been like scientists that have been around it and everything else and blah, blah, blah. And it's never gone off. Why did it go off with one of them?
We identified the ship that touched down on Eden Prime, the Normandy, a human alliance vessel. It was under the command of Captain Anderson.
So if it was me writing the script for that in hindsight, I probably would have had
humans
Shep
may have
go
used
up to it, and then, like, Ash could, like, say, "Oh, you know, Cap or Commander," and then Kaidan pulls her back, or vice versa, and Shep just has to take the brunt of it. But I guess they were going for, like, Shep showing as, you know, the hero or the heroine of the scene.
Doctor?
I don't
Dr.
think that was the right way to go, though.
I think she's
in
waking
hindsight.
up.
You had us worried there, Shepard. How are you feeling?
Oh man, what happened?
How did I end up here? How long was I out?
About 15 hours. Something happened down there with the beacon, I think.
It's my fault. I must have triggered some
That's
kind of
right, it
security
was your
field when I
fault,
approached it.
Kaidan.
You had to push me out of the way.
Kaidan. Unacceptable, man. Alright, what about the beacon?
Where's the beacon now? What happened to it?
The beacon exploded. A system overload.
We could have gotten
The
some
blast
Paragon
knocked you
points there,
cold.
but
Williams and I had to carry you back here to the ship.
well, thanks.
I appreciate it.
Physically, you're fine. But I detected some unusual brain activity. Abnormal beta waves. I also noticed an increase in your rapid eye movement. Signs typically associated with intense dreaming.
I saw... I'm not sure what I saw. Death, destruction... Nothing's really clear.
I better add this to my report. It may... Oh, Captain Anderson.
How's our XO holding up, Doctor?
Well, all the readings look normal. I'd say the commander's going to be fine.
Glad to hear it. Shepard, I need to speak with you. In private.
In private?
Aye, aye, Captain. I'll be in the mess if you need me.
Sounds like that beacon hit you pretty hard, Commander.
So we'll probably call it afterward,
you're
our
okay?
conversation with Anderson. I feel bad about Jenkins. Do we, though?
I don't like soldiers dying under my command.
Jenkins wasn't your fault. You did a good job, Shepard.
Did we leave Gunnery Chief Williams back on Eden Prime?
I figured we could use a soldier like her. She's been reassigned to the Normandy.
Williams is a good soldier. She deserves it.
Lieutenant Alenko agrees with you. That's why I added her to our crew.
Intel dropped the ball, sir. We had no idea what we were walking into down there. That's why things went to hell.
The Geth haven't been outside the Veil in 2 centuries, Commander. Nobody could have predicted this.
You said you needed to see me in private, Captain?
I won't lie to you, Shepard. Things look
In all Fam
Nihilus
Shep
is dead.
runs,
The
her
beacon
neck
was
is too
destroyed
long.
and Geth are invading. The Council's
That's
going
why you
to
can't
war.
make it super thin. It looks a little odd. It needs to come down just a ½ inch or something. Oh well.
I didn't do anything wrong, Captain. Hopefully the Council can see that.
I'll stand behind you and your report, Shepard. You're a damned hero in my books. That's not why I'm here. It's Saren, that other Turian. Saren's a Spectre, one of the best, a living legend. But if he's working with the Geth, it means he's gone rogue. A rogue Spectre's trouble. Saren's dangerous, and he hates humans.
Hates humans. So here we have a bunch of humans in the Mass Effect universe that get called out for being space racists and stuff. And here we have a Turian who hates humans. And we don't really question that.
Why?
He thinks we're growing too fast, taking over the galaxy. A lot of aliens think that way.
It's true.
Most of them don't do anything about it. But Saren has allied himself with the Geth. I don't know how, I don't know why. I only know it had something to do with that beacon. You were there just before that beacon self-destructed. Did you see anything? Any clue that might tell us what Saren was after?
Just before I lost consciousness, I had some kind of vision.
A vision? A vision of what?
I saw synthetics. Geth, maybe. Slaughtering people. Butchering them.
We need to report this to the Council, Shepard.
What are we gonna tell them? I had a bad dream?
We don't know what information was stored in that beacon. Lost Prothean technology, blueprints for some ancient weapon of mass destruction, whatever it was. Saren took it. But I know Saren. I know his reputation is politics. He believes humans are a blight on the galaxy. This attack was an act of war. He has the secrets from the beacon. He has an army of Geth at his command, and he won't stop until he's wiped humanity from the face of the galaxy.
I'll find some way to take him down.
It's not that easy. He's a Spectre. He can go anywhere, do almost anything.
He can.
That's why we need the Council on our side.
We prove Saren's gone rogue and the Council will revoke his Spectre status.
I'll contact the Ambassador and see if he can get us an audience with the Council. He'll want to see us as soon as we reach the Citadel. We should be getting close. Head up to the bridge and tell Joker to bring us into dock.
Okay. Yes, sir. Okay. So we'll probably, like I said, today is the inaugural test stream. This is where Liara is going to sit. I just wanted to make sure everything runs smoothly, you know? You see Holly in chat. She's one of the mods here. And I just want to make sure they get, it's visible, it works good. Our bitstream has been pretty consistent. I mean, I haven't had any problems dropping frames or anything. It's been silky smooth, which is kind of what I suspected. You know, with Twitch and stuff, I am affiliate. I'm not partner there. You're not always guaranteed, even though your connection to whatever server you're at may be good, but you're not guaranteed certain things, you know. And I think that some of the reasons why I drop sometimes is because, you know, just Twitch is Twitch, right? And I wanted a platform where we could do these lore streams, talk about the game, and really expand on the universe. And watch me on Twitch, yeah, because I do still stream there, but it's more of like a gameplay, like we're just playing the game and just talking to chat, and we're just, you know, bantering. But what I wanted these to be is more of like, let's talk about deep lore. You know, backseating is 100% okay. You guys are fine. Tell me what you think. Tell me where you think this story is going. You know, what do you think of Shepard? Is Shepard going to be in the next game? Why? Things like that. You know, stuff, you know, anything that really involves lore at any time. It doesn't have to be like just within Mass Effect 1, just within this first chapter. Talk about anything. You want to talk about Jenkins and Jenkins lore? Let's do it. Let's talk about Jenkins lore. I mean, remember, he's Corporal Jenkins, so he's been around, you know. He was on the landing at Eden Prime with Shepard. You know, just get there, you know. So he's got some lore himself. We could build our own lore for Jenkins. And hopefully my voice will be ready the next time I do this. So I don't plan on streaming on YouTube very often, maybe once a week. And I'm thinking like these Friday nights is a good time to do it. But because I spend all my time doing the recordings for YouTube and editing. So it's kind of one of those things. It's like, well, do I want to stream 4 hours on Twitch, which, you know, I like it. You know, I have fun there with everybody. Or do I want to spend 8 hours in the recording and editing room? I can't have both, right? I have to pick what I'm doing. And so, you know, things like that are making me have to decide, say, you know what, let's do a stream then, a little bit of best of both worlds, basically, where I can put some lore stuff in our channel, be consistent with what the channel tries to do, and stream on Twitch, just, you know, here and there, and not be relegated to like a strict schedule there. But yeah, so I appreciate everybody being here. And I will check you guys later. I probably, like I said, will try to schedule this every Friday night until we know what we're doing. And we will continue to do Mass Effect. And then eventually, once we get done with Mass Effect, and if we want to talk about more BioWare stuff, I'm thinking about doing KOTOR next. Of course, it's kind of funny to do KOTOR in the current, but I did have the mod set up to where you could do it in 1440, although the graphics are not clearly 1440, but we can stretch it to where it looks good in the 1440. And yeah, we'll go from there. And then we can definitely talk deep lore on that. And then if we need to do KOTOR 2, the tricky thing with KOTOR 2 is getting the mods with all the unfinished content loaded with it, you know. That's the stuff I've never really, I mean, I've done it, but not for stream purposes. So, you know, to get it right, I want to make sure we don't have any problems. But anyway, like I said, we want to do a deep lore dive into Mass Effect. And then I plan on doing some long videos for lore in Mass Effect. We're going to talk about the Asari. We're going to talk about the Geth. We're going to talk about just a lot of stuff. I've got some stuff storyboarded. I'm ready to go with it, but I've got to finish the playthroughs that I have, which we're almost done with Mass Effect 3. We're almost done. In fact, tomorrow I'm going to be doing nothing but recording and editing, and then we're going to hopefully post my either last chapter or second to last chapter. It's hard to say because our last thing we got to do is go back to Earth. But that's, you could divide that into 3 different sections, but I'm going to try to hopefully not make it too long, but at the same time, it may just be a 3-hour episode. I don't really know. But anyway, I will check you guys later, and hopefully, and don't forget, like, if you do subscribe to the channel, which is completely 100% free, make sure you set the little alert button so that you get notifications of when we go live, when we get videos uploaded, and whenever there's shorts and things. Sometimes I post like shorts that from clips of videos and stuff. Good night. Okay, good night, Razor. So yeah, like I said, just make sure that if you do give me a sub, I 100% appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. But also, make sure the alerts are on. So I will check you guys later, and let me see if all this works for my exit stuff. Y'all take care.